All right, Black Friday. Um, yeah, when my dad was alive, we went to all the Black Fridays, all the stores. We would wait in line and have fun and sit in lawn chairs in Walmart and try and get the deals. I mean, it's hard to get deals on Black Friday. It's just a ruse just to get you out there and spending money. That's basically all it is. But there's no real good deals. I mean, I think I bought a Blu-ray. Oh, I used to buy GPSs on Black Friday. You used to get a lot of GPSs. I I gave one to my illiterate, crazy brother Johnny so that he could get home, and he's so out of touch with things that he was just beaming about it. Oh, it tells you how long until you got to go. You just program it in. It's so nice. It just blew my mind that he's like trying to be the Amish or something and not go with the times. And he doesn't. I mean, I should just do a whole thing on Johnny because he professes things to be true, but they're not true and just easily debunked by the internet. The guy doesn't look up anything. He just blurts things out, and you know, since he said it, it's true. Just a really bizarre guy, and not very bright, and he calls himself a genius because he took one of those online genius tests back in the 90s. And it called me a genius. It reminds me of King of the Hill when Pegleg gets called the genius, and she is just believing it. Oh, I'm a genius, and then she puts Luann on it. Luann's a genius. Just funny stuff. But yeah, that's my brother Johnny all the way. Really. I mean, I'm definitely going to post some of his writings one of these days, and you'll be able to see he's semi-literate and just crazy, insane. Really. Excuse me. But he he was my oldest brother. I mean, he was somebody I emulated and looked up to. Everybody looked up to him. He was a good-looking kid. So he's just like, and couldn't. He dropped out of high school at freshman year. He was semi-literate. Just a strange guy. And I really wish when I was a kid, and I'm going to tell this story because it's just so like telling of my family. And I'm sorry to go off on but I started with my family. It was the cab thing, with my dad. But you see back in the background there, I made some cream of asparagus soups. Yum. But so there was a party going on. I think I told the story even already. I don't know. I gotta look back. But yeah, there was a party going on, downtown park, Lake Park. All a bunch of families got together, barbecue, drinking. Back in the '60s. And at one point, I looked around and all my family's gone. I couldn't find anybody, and I started freaking out, crying and shit. And I found a woman that knew the family, and she goes, "Oh, let's go find them." And we couldn't find them, but she drove me home to my family, and they all laughed about it. They thought it was funny that they forgot me. And I've pondered since then that, maybe it would have been better for me if I was kidnapped by a nice family that raised me, because that happens, not often, but it could happen. I wasn't with a nice family at that point. In many ways, they were good in many ways, but bad in many ways. And one of the things that I found bad about them is that it wasn't my parents that were drunk that forgot me so much as my siblings that weren't drunk that forgot me. How dare they? I was the youngest. I was like 3 years old. What the hell are they thinking? Crazy. The whole family is just nuts. Um, but I think that seriously affected me, and I hold a lot of resentment towards my family for that one, uh, as I should. That's hardcore. The people that you're supposed to trust, and yeah, whatever. No. So, anyways, yeah, me and my dad would go and get stuff and TVs. One time I got a really nice TV out of Black Friday. I think I still got it actually. Yeah, probably worth about $10 now, but it's a nice TV. Wasn't smart, but it was smart TV. So, there's all that. Yeah, those were the days. I did enjoy that. It was social hour mostly, more than anything. The deals, you get to talk to everybody, and it's small towns. Everybody knows everybody, kind of thing. It was fun, and the people that are working there, they're all having fun. They give you free coffee and donuts and yada yada. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's uh, I wish I could remember all the taxi stories at this moment. Uh, you know, I'm gonna go on with Johnny. He told me, because he used to snap, right? He used to have this thing with snapping. You'd hang out with him for a while, it'd be cool, and then he'd just snap. And that was quite often. I mean, that's part of the trait of his personality. Um, but I didn't see him. I stopped talking to him when I got to Flagstaff just because I needed to get away from him. I knew that he was insane and it was causing me problems. So I stopped talking to my brother Johnny for, I guess it'd be 10 years. Right around exactly, no, 14 years. Exactly 14 years. Um, and then when he came back, he says, yeah, I've worked on that. I don't get angry like that anymore. I said, great. Well, first he told me that he went back to college. And I said, yeah, what degree did you get? And he goes, oh, I didn't actually go. I didn't get a degree. I just went for a little while. And I said, well, I drive in a parking lot of a college every day. I go back to college every day. Um, he didn't think that was too funny. But, where was I going with that? He, yeah, where was I going with that? I'm gonna have to cut this up. Let's see, went to college. Oh, yeah, I don't snap anymore. He said that. That never happens. I one day, I was with my other brother Scott, and that's when I decided that's it. I'm not gonna snap anymore. And I'm done with being angry. Oh, all right. So, a stressful time. My dad was dying, and he was out there because I thought, you should probably be out there for when my dad dies. And I was by myself. I mean, me and my dad. I had nobody else, no help at all when my dad was dying. It was just 24 hours me having to take care of my dad. Unless he was sleeping, then I could work, kind of thing. And yeah, Johnny comes along, and he starts feeling the stress. And I'm driving along, and I've got my music playing, and he just starts snapping, going, "Oh, look at you! Look at you! You're just you." He went off on my authority as a boss because I talked to my driver about something that never listened to me unless I yelled at her. That was just the deal. I'd talk to her first, and then she wouldn't listen. And then I'd talk to her again, and she wouldn't listen. And I'd go, hey, and then she'd listen. So first he was going off about that because I said I had to go, hey, about something. And he said that it was a false sense of superiority, something like that. And that he goes, look at you, and started like trying to project something onto me that I wasn't feeling at all. I wasn't angry or anything. He was just like freaking out. And then he just kept freaking out and kept freaking out. And we just got back from Sam's Club, and he bought this water that he wanted, I bought the water for him that he wanted. And I took it out of the back of the trunk and threw it on the ground. Something else that he said at that point, because he doesn't know how to read. I was a cab driver. I was packing a gun, sure, and when he found that out, he stopped snapping as much. He was taking it easy, be a lot more diplomatic. And I wrote that to him. I said, "Yeah, you're being all diplomatic now that you know that I'm packing, a gun. We can pack, concealed in Arizona." And that's what he chose to attack me on my front porch. I lived at this place for 17 years. I had a girlfriend for a couple of years that was living with me. There was no drama from me, none at all, until Johnny. And he did a snap thing and started going off. "You want to shoot me, motherfucker? You could just fucking pull it all right out." Freaking out. And I said, "I didn't say I wanted to shoot you, you dumb fuck. What I was saying was," and finally we got up into my place. I told him, in front of my dad, and I felt bad about that, but I was like, "Get the fuck out of my house, you piece of shit." I was so done with him, and I had to deal with my dad and me and my business and my driver and everything else, and I didn't have time for his fucking bullshit. And that was it. And I was done, and I'm still done with that motherfucker. He is nothing to me. I told both my brothers. No, I'm not going to tell that. But I'm just done with them. My whole family, they're just so the waste of human flesh, waste of oxygen. But anyways, my color's getting all bad, so I gotta get some sleep. We're going on 12:24. Bye.